Hey everybody, got a pretty good video for you. We are back in Phuket. That was not the plan, but yeah, had a few problems. If you're following me on Facebook, you already know about them. But by the way, if you want the updates in between videos, check out Facebook. I'm getting a little more updatey up over there. So anyways, yeah, we had important parts of the boat falling off at the wrong time. Batteries wouldn't charge, run in with Indonesian police. Good video. So yeah, stay tuned. I don't know how long it's going to be. I got 2 hours of footage. I'm going to try and cut it down to my normal 20 minutes, but this one could be a little longer, just a heads up. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thanks for following along. And if you haven't already done that, hit subscribe, click the bell, all that fun stuff. And yeah, enjoy that clip and then the one after that, and you know, all of them. Yeah, enjoy them all. Okay. All right. Well, I didn't think to mark the spot so that others could know, but I just hit a rock right over here. So I just want to jump in here. You know, I'm talking about hitting a rock, and I'm pretty calm and not too worried about it. This boat has a full keel hull, and the ballast, or the weight that helps keep it upright, that's down under the boat, is along the bottom of the keel, and that's a solid cast iron, like. So I can hit a rock and not be too worried about it. It's part of why I, like, when I saw this boat and found this boat, it was, yes, this is a good boat for me. It's a good boat to learn on. Full keel hull, cast iron ballast. Felt it on the bottom of the keel. It was a single hit, no drag. I'm thinking maybe it was a taller rock and we busted the top off or something. Either way, it felt like a solid hit, no drag, and didn't sound like anything crack or break, just a hoping everything's all right. Gonna go ahead and continue on. This is how close to gone we are. About to pull out, and Pon said, wait, one more freshwater shower for my hair. Well, we are 14 hours into our trip, and pretty strong winds the whole way. Pretty early on, I went 2 reefs. Somewhere along the lines, I pulled in my headsail. I think that was about, I don't know, a couple hours ago. Got to a point where we were maintaining 6 to 7 knots, and just, it didn't really feel healthy and getting tossed around. All day yesterday, we were, I don't know, headed closer to 300 degrees than the 265 we wanted. Yeah, just been a pain in the ass. Went out on deck yesterday with my harness on, my life jacket / clip me to the boat harness. We crossed, headed downwind, and we crossed which side of the boat the wind was coming from on the tail, which is basically, it's called a jibe. It's your boom will swing from one side to the other. So I caught the boom right in my chest, which, you know, no harm, no foul, but it was a real eye-opening moment. You know, if I'd have been more than 6 inches away from the boom when it decided to go, it'd have had a lot more speed and hurt a whole lot more. But and potentially have tossed me right off the boat. And tied on or not, that's not a good fucking situation. Pon has been seasick the whole trip so far. It's been, I'm gonna guess we're in about 2 meter seas. Not the worst I've been in, but not great either. Sorry, I'm enjoying a cup of coffee. It's been a rough night, and this is the first time I finally got the boat smoothed out enough I felt like I could get a cup of coffee. I wish I could say I got good sleep, but I'm gonna say I think I technically slept at least a few times. I'm pretty sure the water leak that comes and goes and I can't find, I think it's my fresh water. I think it's leaking out of the tank. There's like a view access port at the top, and I'm willing to bet that if I dig down to that thing, I'm gonna find water is just sloshing right out of it. You know what? I know I did sleep last night because I had a dream. Of all the things to dream about and to worry about, are you fucking ready for this? I had a dream that Pond ran out of chilies. No more spicy food. That's what I'm dreaming about. Well, I guess that means my boat's in good enough shape that I can sleep at night and dream about chilies. Or the lack thereof. Alright. I'm gonna go fuck off. Make more coffee. Make more coffee. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, we're about 19 hours in. It's about 11 o'clock, 11:30, and I'm starting to feel a little seasick. 24 hours under sail, at sea. Been sailing the whole time. Right now, it just does not do the justice the size of these waves. Like, and it's pretty calm now compared to what it was before. That thing is tall. So there's clearly a problem with the rain catch. All the rain just zips right out with any wind and a little heel. Look at that. Maybe I could go out there and get her working at it, but we're into plenty of water, so oh well. But gotta do this better somehow. We're literally sailing off into the sunset. Another night. This will be our third night at sea. We're just, I don't know, like 50 hours, a little over 48 hours in. I think that's the coast of Indonesia I can make out over there, Sumatra, but I'm not quite sure. All in all, everything's going great. I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you the ocean. It's, I guess you can see here, I mean, it's just so calm and quiet tonight. It's really cool looking around and seeing nothing on the horizon. That's that gives you I don't know. It's a different feeling. Not as scary as I thought. Like, it's not like looking into an abyss or anything. It's just there's nothing out there. You're alone. Like, really alone. So last night, it was a bit later than this. This is, I'm gonna flip this over. My camera's too close to my thumb there. So last night, it was a bit later than this. I was just about to try and like rustle something up to eat. So I sat down and kind of dozed off a little bit. And I don't know for how long. Like, if you told me 20 minutes, okay, cool. If you told me 2 hours, you okay, cool. I open my eyes and I see this light reflecting in the boat, and it's like, where's the light coming from out on the, oh fuck. And I jump up and I start looking out, and there's, I don't know what, a big boat of some kind, and I was in spotlight distance. My lights weren't on, so I was running at night, no lights. I was going just a bit faster than them. I veered off, changed course, whatever, and within an hour or so, like, okay, they're gone. Well then, like 4 o'clock in the morning, they show up, and with them was another boat. For sure, 2 different boats, always together, doing about 5-6 knots. And then all of a sudden there's this other much larger something doing like 16 knots, and I mean much larger, coming right up behind me. So like I got some photos I can drop in here for you, but yeah, so I got this big thing coming up behind me. Two things, I'm not sure how big they are, but I know they're like, you know, big enough to sink my sorry ass. Doesn't take much when I'm only 27 foot. I'm the littlest thing on the ocean, you know, like for like an hour or so, I was outrunning this guy trying to get like, because we were on like a collision course, right? Like coming to the point on a V or whatever, right? But I was ahead of him and going faster. So my plan was to get up there a bit further. So I was good like 2-3 miles ahead, and then make the 2-mile turn and go across his whatever and do my jibe, because, you know, I've been heading the wrong direction for, you know, all day, and was planning on making a turn, and here I am. Okay, cool, whatever. So I go ahead and finally like, oh, so this tanker is coming up behind me, and I'm like, you know, fuck it, jibe now and hope that guy fucking like sees what's going on, but I am coming now. And I did my jibe and you know, turned probably whatever 45 degrees from like this, like all three of us were coming to the same like point, targeted point, like that's where we were all pointed at for whatever reason. And at some point I was like, all right, screw it, and I made the 45-degree turn that I could do and still have my wind with the way I have the sails and everything else. So I make my turn, and this other the one that I was in spotlight distance, Thor something, the name of the ship was Thor something. So Thor sees me make my turn and does like turns 90 degrees to like give me way, like, go dude, get the fuck out of here. So I make my turn, and then he just like strategically follows up and comes up behind the stern of this tanker, and watching it all unfold on the AIS once I got out of there. But again, this fucking blue box pops up on the AIS, and I have no idea what that little blue box is. So yeah, 2 different times saw Thor last night, and then there was some other ships along the way. And I'll tell you what, at night, like, okay, so with my AIS, it only tells me when a ship is a danger, right? Otherwise, they don't show up on the map. So I see lights on the horizon, and I'm being told there's a danger, but I don't necessarily know which fucking light is the danger, right? And it's like, fuck. So, yeah, I think I'm out of the shipping lane. God, I hope I'm out of the shipping lanes now, and there'll be no more of that bullshit. So we talked to these guys. They tried letting us use their phone to connect to the internet, but just not good enough data to get through. Just wanted to make a quick update, capture this moment. We're coming around. This is the very top, most northern point of Sumatra, Indonesia. We have been downwind sailing for the last several hours. This is called being goosed out. We got one sail on each side. You put your head sail on whichever side it's the wind is favoring. This is what I was having so much trouble with before. This pipe right here was rubbing. You can actually see the dark spot, the rub mark on it, on this wire right here. And what I did is, you can see this new rope right here. That just goes to the front, holds that pipe forward, and holds everything right in the right position. Everything's going real good. Couldn't ask for better conditions. Yeah, I'm proud of us. We crossed the Ottoman Sea, or the Strait of Malacca, or I don't know what the fuck we did, but I'm proud. I'm feeling that much more confident about going to the Maldives. So we're pretty much sailing into the sunrise, not the sunset. The ocean is absolutely beautiful today. Things did not work out so well while we were in Indonesia. Alternator went out right behind that island. We pulled into the island, looking for somewhere to just anchor for the night to assess the situation and decide what the hell. One fisherman told us to head for this little town, right? Like we asked where we could anchor, and he points at this place and like, okay, cool. We start heading there, and as we get real close, all of a sudden another fisherman starts waving us off, and I was already looking at the approach like, why is that wave breaking right there? That seems really, really early. What the fuck? How come there's a crashed ship right on the same line? Like, this looks bad. Something's wrong here. And just as I'm thinking that, this fisherman comes up waving us off and says, follow me, you know, like all hand signals. And okay, cool. So we follow him, and you go down the beach line to this little tiny hole, cut in, turn back, come around and through, and there's a little tiny fucking channel, right? Deep as fuck. Like, I've seen at least one good sized fishing boat go through it. But anyways, so we get into town, and you know, we're planning on just dropping anchor, work on the boat, get it sorted, maybe spend the night just for the, you know, calm, cool, you know, sleep for the night. Like, and at that point we hadn't even had a chance to really assess the situation. We just noticed, hey, batteries aren't charging. We're right on the cusp of the Indian Ocean. We should pull over and look at this before we go, right? Well, we never got a chance to really sit down and think about it. Like, as soon as we get into the town, all the locals are signaling us to tie up to this other boat. So we tie up to the other boat, and right off the get-go, Indonesian police officer, corrupt as a motherfucker, standing there, passport. I was like, dude, we ain't checked in. We just arrived. We weren't planning on stopping. We have an emergency, just checking some stuff. Like, just checking. And he's all uppity and next, and it wasn't right off the get-go being like, I mean, they were asking for passports, and I was like, no, we're not checked in, blah, blah, blah. We just need to do some repairs and go again. One guy kept pushing for us to come for coffee with him. And like, okay, and this is where I screwed up. I never should have set foot off the boat. I should not have stepped on land. That was wrong. Like, it's not wrong, but it's where I went wrong, if that makes sense. Like, legally speaking, in an emergency, you can go on land and look for help. That's fine. You don't have to check in first. Like, we're going along, we're in your territorial waters, we have an emergency, we beach, and we take care of it, right? Like, you don't got to go check in for that. It's called an emergency, and that's like why we have international agreements. So anyways, I do get off, and we go to sit down, and the guy's like, oh, sorry, restaurant's closed. And then this other guy's like, come sit down. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, restaurant's closed, but sit down and chat with us anyway. Okay, fine. So I sit down, and a few other guys sit down, and they're, you know, all smiles, looking all happy or whatever. And they start with the Indonesian intimidation tactic of like just letting us know who they are, and you know, all the reasons we should be scared without ever telling us we should be scared, you know. So they're like, the three of us, we're police. Okay, cool. We want to see your passport. Passport's on the boat. Go get it, bring it here. Okay, cool. I'll go get my passport, bring it back. Han's passport also, and she was with me. Sit down, open them both up. They take photos of them. Okay, cool, you got your photos. Like, now I'm gonna get back to working on my boat. And he's like, you should lock up your boat and come down to the police station with us so we can all rest. So you want to throw me in jail for the night so you can deal with me in the morning? Fuck you. Like, I didn't say that, but I was just like, the mechanic's here. I'm gonna go to my boat. Sorry, Tidak Mengerti. Like, sorry, I don't understand. I'm gonna go back to my boat and work on my boat. Well, the cop as we start walking back, the guy that invited us to coffee is like, sorry, he's not even a cop from here. He's a cop from Acha. This guy's the local police and he's being fined. That guy's from Acha and, you know, making the problem or whatever. And so, but still, like, Indonesia, you don't fuck with a cop no matter where he's from. You just don't. So anyways, we get back to the boat and the cop, uninvited, jumps on the boat. Fucking illegal. Technically, like, I mean, he boarded my international craft. He boarded it, which is, you know, fucking not okay. So he comes on the boat, mechanic's on the boat, some other guy just fucking, oh, the guy that wanted to give me coffee comes on the boat and he's still being pretty cool and trying to like subdue the cop. Again, the cop is like, you know, he's leaning into the boat while the mechanic's working and randomly like picking at shit on my fucking nav station, like touching shit and like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, anyways, so, but at the same time, everything's all like friendly and fine, you know, just not the way, you know, it's not my custom. You don't go walking into somebody's fucking boat without being invited, like, period. You do not board a boat until the captain says, please come aboard. Or you say, may I come aboard? And the captain says, yeah, sure, absolutely, please join us. Anyways, so, just rude. Pissed me off. On top of him being a dick and asking me what kind of money and how much money, like, you have rupiah? You're a cop. What the fuck do you care if I have rupiah or not? Like, he's the mechanic. He's the one providing the service. What the fuck do you care? So, no rupiah. He goes, you have lots of dollar? No. He goes, ringgit? I said, ada sedikit ringgit, ada sedikit Thai baht. Right. And at that point, all of a sudden, he was no longer in the helpful mood, but was in the, well, it looks like we can't fix it. They have this solution in Sabang. Go, leave. Like, and Sabang is also where you would like check in, and this is Sabang, right? This is 10 hours ago, 11 hours ago, right? Shortly after sundown, being kicked out of the village because don't have enough money to be hustled by the cops. So he's like, get the fuck out. At night, through a dangerous channel, navigate through islands with rocks all around them at night and fishing boats everywhere at night. Get the fuck out. Go to Sabang. Apparently he had called it in or something. He said there's tensions in Sabang and nowhere for me to stay in the village. And it's like, there's a big chunk of water right there. I can drop my fucking anchor. That's what I came here for, is to drop my anchor for a minute. Like, chillax and work on my boat someplace the water's not making me, you know, rock around. Well, anyways, we politely said goodbye. Was not impressed with that little village, at least because of the one cop. He ruined everything. He wasn't even a cop of the village. The cop of the village was being cool. Villagers were all being cool. This random dude was just being a dick. So anyways, we're supposed to go to Sabang and get checked in. Sabang's that one over there, where we're not going. We're not continuing on to Maldives. We're going back to Thailand. We're gonna buy a new alternator, slap it in, turn the fuck around, and head back out. All right, that's the rundown. You know, what a fuck situation. All right, well, stay tuned for the trip back across the Strait of Malacca. and then back over that way, but not here. We'll be that way, north a lot. Going through India's land, waters. So, yeah, there we go. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody watching. Please leave comments, like, subscribe, do all that. It's about 10:30 a.m. Christmas Eve. I noticed these shackles were getting a lot louder than normal, and I looked out, and the roller furling with the Genoa had come unattached. These rear stays are super loose. We dropped all the sails as quick as we could. Unfortunately, I don't see any other way around it. I gotta climb up there. The one rope that I have that I could, I don't have to go. Never mind, that won't work either. Anyways, so yeah, that fucking thing tossing around like that, and I gotta go up and get some kind of anchor point. It can't be midway, or I can't pull the mainsail up. It's gotta be all the way at the top. Fucking steel cable busted right off the top of this thing. Can't really see in this shot, but we'll get into it later. So anyways, Pond's not going to be able to get much video of this as we go, but wish us luck. I guess if you're watching this, it means we survived, or you're our rescue crew. So either thank you or thank you. I'm not recording yet. There we go. What's the name of the island? Koh Simulan. So just outside of Koh Simulan, on our way back to Thailand after breakdown, and lost our forestay / head sail, and we get here and all of a sudden we got dolphins playing with us. A whole pod of them. Oh. Okay, so we started getting really close to Phuket, but we're down, like, I think we have maybe 10 liters of fuel, and we need a minimum of 15 to 20 to make it. So, and with the head sail down, sailing into the wind, blah, 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 we're fighting the current. So, need the fuel to go faster than 2 knots, basically. So, we found this fishing boat. We called out to them. They sent one rope over to tie the 2 boats together, and then using that as like kind of a trolley line, they sent another rope over and just, you know, floating on a little ball. And we sent our fuel can back to them. They're gonna fill it up, and I don't know, maybe we'll figure out how to pay them. Maybe they're just gonna say thanks, goodbye. But yeah, Thai fishermen, fucking awesome. Saved our ass. This has been one hell of a trip, and arguably not over, just, you know, on a bit of a pit stop back where we started. But learned a lot of stuff, got a few things we want to take care of, a few things we have to take care of before we get back on the sea, but yeah. We made it back in Phuket. So we'll be wrapping up this video just about, maybe we'll add the repairs to this video or do a separate one, but I wanted to stop and throw in a bit here about fatigue. Last night, Pon said, hey, let's just get a hotel room for the night. We were already on land. Okay, cool. So we got a room, and I woke up this morning and all my muscles, head to toe, hurt. Like sore muscles from working hard. And there wasn't any one thing that I did, but a week on the boat, pulling the sails up, pulling the sails down, doing this, doing that, trying to sleep, being tossed around constantly. Your body's always flexing to hold yourself in position. And I noticed a little bit yesterday as I was pulling a rope that my hands and my arms were tired, but I didn't realize just how tired until I got a full solid night's sleep, no rolling around or anything. And yeah, I got some serious fatigue going on. My body's sore. So good thing, means muscles are growing, but something to be aware of. If you're going to be on the boat for a while, active crew, working on everything that comes up, expect to get worn down the overtime, making me, like, I'm not worried about going to Maldives, but it's a real eye-opener of just how physically stressful it could become. So anyways, looking for an alternator today. We'll be assessing the furling system, see what caused it to fall, if we can put it back up ourselves, or we need to come up with some parts first, or what we got to do. That plant store is apparently a club. All right. See you on down the road.